Jean-Claude Biver, one of the most prolific names in watchmaking. Now, I understand not all of you may know or care who this old man is, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's probably one of the most important people to the watchmaking industry behind me. I'm joking, but people are going to get upset that I said that, so whatever, screw it. No, you know what? I'm serious. No, we should all strive to give ourselves a bit more credit, all right? Let's be honest. But we are going to go over just who this guy is and why he's so important to watchmaking, and again, from many different facets. I mean, he's important to the actual production of certain watches. He's integral to the building of these brands and to the marketing campaigns. This guy's just an absolute powerhouse when it comes to the watchmaking world. And at the time of filming, at the month of filming, I should say, February 2022, he actually announced that he's starting his own exclusive watch brand titled JC Biver. But for those of you who don't know who he is, some cliff notes on the matter. He's most recently known for being the CEO of Hublot and then Tag Heuer. I know what you're thinking already. Those are my two least favorite watchmakers. For him having these deep connections to those brands, he must be like my mortal enemy. He's like some Sith Lord that I want to destroy. But the truth is, aside from those, two watchmakers, I might not be the biggest fan of them, but he's actually done some really incredible things for a lot of brands out there. And we're gonna go over all of that today, and we're gonna talk about some things that we might be looking forward to in the future, right? I mean, this guy's done a whole lot. Guys, if you couldn't tell, we don't take anything that seriously here at the Time Teller channel, but we do love watches, and if you think you're the same way, what, you think you're the same as us? Perfect, you're in the right spot. Please click subscribe and hit that bell icon. And then what I want you to do is find the like button and give it a dipped soft serve cone. Ooh, so pleasant, so nice, a little bit of a snap, and then the creaminess of that ice cream. But instead of chocolate or caramel, make it wood glue. I don't even know how that would work. I don't even know if it would work, but you're gonna find out. It is 6:19 p.m. Let's get down to business. Jean-Claude Biver. All right, again, I am an ignorant American. I'm butchering his name every time I pronounce it. It's going to sound different, but I am trying, all right? Regardless of how you say his name, he is probably the most important name to modern watchmaking as a whole. Now, he got his start as the European sales manager for AP and then quickly moved over as the product manager for Omega. Now, all of us watch lovers would love to have that on our resume, right? It's already incredibly impressive, but what makes it even crazier is he did all of this like within a year. Now, in 1981, after leaving Omega, Biver and a man named Jacques Piguet purchased rights to Blancpain. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, what was Blancpain doing in the early 80s? Well, the truth is, not much initially because they were defunct. And it's crazy to think about, right? Blancpain has one of the richest histories in watchmaking. They're from the freaking 1700s. So it's weird to think that they went defunct sometime in the 70s. What was happening around the 70s? The quartz crisis. That's right, the quartz crisis buried a ton of Swiss watchmakers. We've spoken about that a lot on this channel, but it's insane that someone as mighty as Blancpain could succumb to a little battery. Now, what's even funnier is if you type in Blancpain and Jean-Claude Biver, a quote will show up. He's quoted as saying, "Since 1735, there has never been a quartz Blancpain watch, and there never will be." See, it's funny, he can get away with saying that, but like 2 years ago, I said that the Casio Duro wasn't the best watch ever made, and people have called me the worst names ever. Someone told me to myself. Because of that statement, because of me not thinking that it's the best watch, come on. Whereas he's saying that there should never ever be a quartz Blancpain. I think it'd be cool to see a quartz Blancpain, but you want me to myself? Yourself. Now, it should be noted that although Jean-Claude Biver sold Blancpain to Swatch Group in 1992, he actually stuck around as Blancpain's CEO until, I believe, 2003. Another interesting bit of information is that while he was CEO of Blancpain, he was also on the board of directors for Omega. That's right, he found his way back to Omega. And guys, I cannot overstate how important this man was to Omega's success. Okay, we all know that Omega is the 007 watch, right? It wasn't always in the books, in the OG movies. I mean, Sean Connery was wearing a big crown sub. But in modern James Bond history, everyone thinks of Omega as being the James Bond watch. Why? Well, ever since Pierce Brosnan to now, James Bond's worn a Seamaster. Now, it's said that the only reason any of that happened was because of Jean-Claude Biver. Apparently, he was instrumental in making that marketing campaign happen, which shows you just how much foresight he had. Now, this was incredibly profitable for Omega as a brand. It's said that while Jean-Claude Biver was on their board of directors, they were able to triple their sales. So, okay, he's had his hands at AP as a European sales manager. He's had his hands at Omega as a product manager, and then he bought Blancpain. He was CEO of Blancpain. Then he was on the board of directors for Omega. What else could he possibly do? In 2004, Biver emerged as CEO for Hublot, and according to Wikipedia, Hublot was able to increase their sales 5-fold under Biver's leadership. What? Now, this success with Hublot didn't come without some controversy and without rubbing some people the wrong way. There's a quote from him. He said, "People want exclusivity, so you must always keep the customer hungry and frustrated." Well, I can tell watch collectors don't like being frustrated. Or maybe they do like being maybe we're gluttons for punishment, right? Because all I do is complain. So he's on to something. But what pissed people off aside from that quote? Well, he attributes tactics such as supply restriction and things like that for keeping people, you know, dangling the carrot. And supply restriction, I mean, come on, that's incredibly relevant right now because that's what we're accusing Rolex of doing, right? Now, in 2008, LVMH purchased Hublot, thus proving again that Biver, regardless of how he does it, knows how to bring back watchmakers from the dead. Now, in 2014, he became CEO for Tag Heuer, another watchmaker I don't really like. Also around this time, he jumped in with LVMH as the head of their watches and jewelry division. So if you couldn't tell, this is, you know, a very busy man, and he clearly enjoys being in the watch world. But in 2018, he left both of those companies, kind of closing the book on a 43-year career in the watch world. Or maybe we've spoken too soon. Now, as I teased at the beginning of this episode, February 2022, this month, he announced that he's not done. He's launching a, quote, exclusive watch brand under his name, JC Biver. Okay, now I'm gonna try to do this next part in an accent. All right, so everyone get your laughing emojis in the comment section. JC Biver spoke to Radio Télévision Suisse, RTS, and told them that it was a bike accident that left him with a 3-month hospital stay that allowed him to kind of get introspective, and he realized that his one passion that he was truly missing out on was horology. Now, Hodinkee has like an incredible article about this new endeavor from Biver. Now, one of the funniest things I took away from this article was learning just how Mr. Biver chose to name his new watch brand. I quote, "I decided my name was valuable, credible, and known. Why not make a brand with my own name? JC Biver." And guess what? He's not wrong. I mean, I guess when you like single-handedly bring multiple watchmakers back from the dead and you make them incredibly profitable, and then you end up, you know, increasing sales 3 times and then 5 times, and then you make one of the most successful marketing campaigns ever with the James Bond watches. Yeah, your name is well known, and you don't have to beat around the bush. You don't have to be humble about it. Like, yeah, you're credible, you're well known. I trust him. And guys, I'm gonna be clear, I may not like every project he's been a part of, and I guarantee you that him and myself, we don't look at watch collecting the same way. Like, guaranteed, right? He's on a totally different echelon than myself. But Mr. Biver is incredibly important to horology, and as watch collectors, we need to acknowledge that. And I am incredibly excited to see what he's actually going to produce under his own watch brand. I'm not going to be able to afford it, but I'd love to learn about it. And I want to leave you guys with a quote from the man himself. Passion isn't something that goes away in retirement. Retirement might mean your position goes away, but not your passion. I have a lot to pass on, and I want to pass it on. The best way to do that is to start a small brand, family owned and very exclusive, and voila, the decision was made. So here's to you, Mr. Biver. Thanks for everything you've done for watchmaking. I'm a big fan of Omega, I'm a big fan of Blancpain, and I'm sure a lot of my viewers love what you've done. So guys, what do you think of this? What do you think he's going to produce under his own watch brand? And what's your favorite thing that he's been a part of? Again, when we look at his laundry list of accomplishments. Leave me that comment. I want to hear from you. And guys, as always, we don't take anything that seriously here on the Time Teller channel, but we do love watches, and we love learning about watches and talking about watches and joking about watches. And if you're the same way, you're in the right place. So please hit that subscribe button. And then go ahead, give the like button a dipped soft serve cone, but instead of caramel or chocolate, make sure it's wood glue. If the YouTube overlords are listening, make sure it's non-toxic. Just kidding. And please like, comment, and subscribe. I will catch you on the next one. Stay happy, stay healthy, stay blessed. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.